What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Sports TV, and I am back with another video. This is the rundown discussing boxing's latest news. First up, the self-proclaimed GOAT of women's boxing, Claressa Shields, has come out publicly and stated that she is willing to fight who she considers the greatest mixed martial artist, women's fighter, Amanda Nunes, in the octagon. And this is something that I would highly advise Shields against if I was in her corner, in her camp. But she is a confident woman. She is a two-time Olympic gold medalist. She is the current undisputed middleweight women's champion of the world. She also had unified titles at 168, and she's going for a third title in a different weight class when she takes on Ivana Hazabin in October for that vacant WBO junior middleweight title. I interviewed her a couple weeks ago, and she set the record straight that she does indeed feel that she would sleep Amanda Nunes, who is the current featherweight UFC champion, in a boxing match. But nowhere in that interview did she come out and say, look, I will go over there to mixed martial arts. What she told me was that I wouldn't fight her over there because I don't have the experience, but that if she had the time, or what she does have the time, she would train and she thinks she can be successful over there. But look, let's be real. She would have no chance in hell in MMA. With minimum preparation and experience, Nunez would sleep her or submit her so fast her head would spin. It'll look like Randy Couture when he made James Toney tap in the first round years ago. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of putting Nunez to sleep in a boxing ring, I don't know. While I like Claressa Shields, she is a great fighter, supremely talented. If you look at her record, she is 9-0 with two knockouts. Two knockouts. That is not an impressive knockout, ratio you're looking at. She is more of a boxer who throws a lot of punches. She's a high-volume fighter. And if these women in MMA are not really buzzing and hurting Nunez with 4-ounce gloves on, I don't see how Claressa Shields would do anything. I see her outboxing her. You know what I'm saying? She's a naturally bigger woman. She's fought at 168. Nunez in the MMA has fought at, I think, maybe 135, and the lowest is 126, I believe. Correct me in the comment section down below if I'm wrong. But she's definitely very athletic. She has the natural size advantage. She's younger. I believe she has less wear and tear on her. But I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that she would sleep Amanda Nunes. Not saying she won't knock her out, but I will have to see how Nunes acclimates herself to boxing, if that is an option or something that she desires to do sometime down the line. Would I watch this fight? I definitely would, because Nunez, in my opinion, is the greatest women's mixed martial artist all time. And Claressa Shields is on her way. I wouldn't put her in that position right now because you still got fighters like Cecilia Barraquez, Amanda Serrano. Katie Taylor is still, carving out her story in the sport of boxing. And there's so many from the past that can stake to that claim as well. So while she's definitely on her way and currently, number one, if not number one, number two, in the women's sport of boxing, she still has some more things to accomplish. But with the way Nunez just been knocking mugs out, Holly Holm, Chris Cyborg, Ronda Rousey, if Shields goes over there to mixed martial arts, she's gonna get destroyed quick, fast, in a hurry, either by knockout or submission. It's gonna happen so quick that her head's gonna spin. And she gonna wake up like, whoa, the meme of SpongeBob. That's how she gonna wake up looking like the whole room, the whole arena gonna be spinning. You know what I'm saying? Just because she ain't been hit by a mug with 4-ounce gloves. And I'm not to say I don't know her every training, her methods of training. If she train with men that can punch and et cetera, et cetera. But I know 4-ounce gloves getting hit by just a regular person hurts. But you talking about a woman in Nunez who is just a devastating puncher. That spells disaster for Claressa Shields. But I understand why she's doing this. You know, honestly, 160 has nothing to offer for her now that she unified the whole division. 168 definitely doesn't have anything to offer. And while she has called out current undisputed welterweight champion and future Hall of Famer Cecilia Barraquez for a fight, in which Barraquez has come out and stated that that is a fight that she would love to, get on and participate in. We haven't heard anything from Team Barraquez since she put that video out on TMZ a few months ago. So I don't know where that's going. Claressa Shields said they had some discussions, but anytime her team reaches out for serious numbers and everything else, it's really crickets. And so with that, her options are limited. Raquel Miller is a guy. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Is a woman that is a potential opponent for Claressa Shields. They have some history going back to the amateurs, and Raquel Miller, who we've interviewed at threekingsboxing.com numerous of times, has made it clear that is the fight that she wants. She wants to, give Claressa Shields her first loss as a professional fighter. Claressa Shields has beaten her each and every time they fought as an amateur. So Miller is trying to rectify that wrong, as a professional. We shall see, man, if this happens. I know Dana White would love it. It would be women's boxing and MMA's version of, or women's boxing's version of Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Conor McGregor. And if it happens in the mixed martial arts, it'll be women's version of, James Toney versus Randy Couture. So we shall see, man, if those two sides can, come to an agreement on a deal and, make that fight happen. Next up, Ryan Garcia is blasting Golden Boy Promotions, his promotional company, on social media. He is acting out, and you can't say you're shocked. I can't say I'm surprised, because he's a young guy, like 20 years old. He's feeling himself. He's undefeated. They call him the Flash. He's a gifted fighter. But as you start to see, this business can be a cold thing to be involved in. Doesn't matter how good you are, how great you are. If you're not paying attention to your finances and to everything that's in that contract and knowing your worth, you're going to find yourself in situations like this. And pretty much this weekend, Ryan Garcia blasted Golden Boy on Twitter. And I'll post the pictures and the link from the article in threekingsboxing.com in the description box below so you can check it out. But I'm going to read off what he said. He said this: the bottom line is, I deserve the right promotion for the fights with full time to promote and not be thrown into a fight and have myself do the whole promotion. Knowing my fan base, they will tune in no matter what. But I deserve to have a full promotion with a fight with Dono. To all my fans, yes, I was supposed to fight Romero Dono in September. I decided not to go with that because I wanted to fight him as main event in November and not be some co-main event on a card that will be driven by me. I also elected to fight the guy that gave Dono problems for September. So he's pretty much saying, look, I need to be promoted like y'all promote Canelo Alvarez. I need to be promoted like the guy that y'all tell me that y'all feel I'm going to be, that superstar, that guy that can, become a junior lightweight champion, make multiple defenses, become a superstar, a household name in the sport of boxing. Oscar De La Hoya, you've told me this. I got the fan base, I got the charisma, I got the looks, I got the personality, I got the athletic ability, the hand speed, the knockout power. I got it all. But what I'm lacking is a promotional team behind me, and I'm tired of pulling double duty. It's enough that I gotta worry about being on my top-notch A game for these guys that's looking to dethrone me. But now I got to get on Twitter, I got to get on Instagram, I got to get on YouTube and promote myself. When that's why I signed for y'all. I signed with y'all for a reason. And he's frustrated. You know what I'm saying? And so frustrated now that he has brought in a trainer. I mean, not a trainer, excuse me, shit. He's brought in you know, one of the more powerful lawyers to, you know, oversee some things in his corner, because apparently he was offered $50,000 for a show that he was on that almost, you know, garnered up to $1 million dollars in revenue. Which, when you hear I'm getting $50,000 and I was the main attraction that nearly brought in $1 million dollars of revenue, where how does that work? You know, where is the fairness in that? And that's not fair. But there is always a way to handle situations. You need to keep that privately. You need to go to Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, and everybody else that's involved and say, look, this is what I feel needs to be happening with my career. I'm 20 years old. I have a bright future, a high ceiling. I think that y'all need to do a better job of promoting me, whether it's giving me commercials, spots on ESPN, Fox, more spots on the Zone, or whatever it may be. But this is what I, you know, sign with y'all to do. Y'all, you know, I signed with y'all because y'all told me one thing, and now as my career is advancing, y'all are giving me the total opposite. And I think that something needs to be done about it, or I'm gonna look to take my services somewhere else. I don't think he should have jumped on Twitter and blasted him, because that only ruffles feathers and that only makes things more difficult for you when, you know, you really need them. You know what I'm saying? Oscar De La Hoya could take this and be like, okay, you want to be like that? I'll cash you out now. I'll give you that Gervonta Tank Davis fight. I'll give you a fight with Miguel Burchell. I'll give you a fight with Jamal Harry, and I'll give you a fight with somebody I know damn well that you're not ready for, since you want to try to blast me and accuse me of, you know, not really paying you what you feel you're worth, instead of talking to me as a man, as a professional, and giving me that courtesy and respect. So this is a lesson learned, that he needs to keep stuff in-house, not blast out his business, Golden Boy's business, for the whole world to see. Because, you know, while that method works sometimes, you always going to be looked at with a side eye, and people are going to lose some respect for you, because that's not the way professional guys and girls handle their business. But like I said, you know, he's a young guy. He's feeling himself. He thinks he's supposed to be further along or making more money, and he's not. And before I get off this subject, Jamal Herring, the current WBO junior lightweight champion, said this, and it's true. If you have an issue with your promoter, manager, team, etc., quit running to social media about it. I promise you it won't end well. Keep it professional. So, Ryan Garcia, I hope you heard those wise words of wisdom from Mr. Jamal here, because he's telling the truth. He's been in the game much longer than you. He's had to deal with that, and he knows that's not the route to go. So hopefully there's a resolution amongst Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy moving forward. They could pay him what he feels he's worth, and also promote him the way he feels they need to, and everything would be water under the bridge. Next up, the final topic of the video. The IBF confirms Gennady Golovkin versus Sergey Derevyanchenko has been ordered. We here at 3kingsboxing.com reported this earlier. We spoke to a representative of the IBF, and they confirmed to us that this is indeed what has happened. It's no shocker, as both of these guys were valuable valuable options for Canelo Alvarez, but at the end of the day, he didn't feel like fighting either one of them. So, you know, after failed negotiations with Sergey Derevyanchenko, the IBF stripped Alvarez of his middleweight title. And, you know, with Derevyanchenko being the mandatory and going through the rankings, Gennady Golovkin was the next guy up. And this isn't a total shocker, because these guys were in negotiations to fight, or Derevyanchenko offered to fight Golovkin in 2018 after Alvarez tested positive for clenbuterol, which in turn counts as their May 5th rematch. But a deal between Golovkin and Derevyanchenko couldn't be reached at that point. So Golovkin, like Alvarez, was stripped of his IBF title, and Derevyanchenko went on to fight Daniel Jacobs for that vacant title last October, where he lost a split decision. But yet, now this is his second go-round at the IBF title. He potentially could be catching Gennady Golovkin at the right time. Golovkin is an aging fighter now. He's not the fighter he once was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, as evident by his fights with Canelo Alvarez. You know, and Derevyanchenko is an excellent fighter. He is a guy who has respectable power, good boxing skills, decent athletically, has a good ring IQ. He's very experienced as an amateur, and like I said, he's been in the ring with Daniel Jacobs, Jack Koke, Toriano Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Some respectable, good fighters. And now this is potentially his moment to rise to the occasion. You know, make the best of this second opportunity for a world title and get himself in position for bigger fights. You know, I think this is an excellent, excellent fight. Purse bid will be September 4th if these two guys can reach an agreement. But Lou DiBella has already stated publicly that Derevyanchenko and Golovkin have been negotiating a deal prior to this news, and that a deal is expected shortly. So we shall see what happens, man. I'm excited for this fight. If it gets done, it's going to take place in October, likely in New York. We're going to see what Golovkin has left. We know he wanted to fight with Canelo Alvarez, but Canelo Alvarez didn't want that. We know that Golovkin has been linked with Jaime Miguel. We know Andre wants a fight with Golovkin, but look, Golovkin sees this as an opportunity to get himself right back in position for a rubber match with Canelo Alvarez. And if he wins this fight, that is definitely on the docket for later on, or for 2020, because the zone is not going to let him, Canelo, get his way once again, especially if Golovkin does what Canelo said do. Get a belt, and then we'll fight. So this is a big fight for both guys. A big fight for Golovkin if he wants to get another big money fight with Alvarez, and, you know, Derevyanchenko to increase that monetary value of himself in a potential fight with Alvarez if he wins this vacant IBF middleweight title. All right, that'll be a wrap for this video. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up button. If you enjoy the content throughout the channel, please hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on to be notified every time I upload content. Drop your comments in the comment section down below. Be sure to check out 3kingsboxing.com for your latest and greatest updated, unfiltered, and unbiased boxing news and information reported the way it should be. Until next time, I am out. Peace.